The ascent is the most critical phase of any dive, as this is when decompression sickness can develop. Unfortunately, in recreational diving, essential aspects of the ascent are often underemphasized, with only a brief mention of the so-called safety stop, a term divers use casually without a clear understanding of its purpose or proper execution. This term is misleading because it downplays the seriousness of the situation. In reality, every dive is a decompression dive, and every stop is a deco stop. Keep in mind that any diver, regardless of depth or duration, can get bent. However, a well-executed ascent significantly reduces this risk. Every ascent should be a coordinated team effort with several distinct phases. So let's examine the details. It all starts with the dive leader signaling the team and waiting for confirmation. This ensures everyone is on the same page and understands what is about to happen, allowing each member to assume their position and prepare for their pre-assigned tasks. Distributing roles and responsibilities within the team is crucial to minimize mistakes and ease the load on each member. Based on these roles, one person should deploy a DSMB and manage depth, while another drives the ascent and taking care of the previously planned stop times. There isn't a single good reason not to use a DSMB on every dive. Regardless of whether you think it's necessary, every dive provides an excellent opportunity to practice this skill. Similar to descending procedures, assuming the correct team position is crucial. In a two-person team, divers should face each other and be about 2 comfortable fin kicks apart. In a 3-person team, members should also face each other but form a star shape, ensuring everyone has a clear view of the situation. It's worth noting that a well-organized ascent can be managed by 2 divers, with the third simply following while monitoring depth and time, intervening only in case of an emergency. Once the DSMB is deployed, it's important to initially apply pressure by reeling the line back in so it stands straight up on the surface, then lock it in place. The leader then initiates the ascent to the depth of the first stop. As before, each member should confirm the leader's instructions and repeat them back only if agreed. We often see divers mindlessly repeating hand signals without understanding their meaning, which can lead to confusion and errors. It's important to avoid this habit. The key is not just to repeat the signals, but to first think about them, verify their meaning, and then confirm by repeating them accurately. During the ascent, the lead dictates the speed of the ascent, while the diver handling the DSMB monitors the depth. In theory, each diver is accountable for their actions, prioritizing the execution of the plan. However, it's equally crucial to monitor others in the team and prevent deviations from the plan, such as exceeding the predetermined ascent rate or breaking formation. This necessitates almost constant eye contact to maintain awareness and ensure everyone's safety during the dive. The team in the video demonstrates an ascent starting from 10 meters, with the first predetermined stop scheduled for 1 minute at 6 meters. The time taken to travel between stops is factored into the stop time itself, but you can take a more cautious approach by initiating the timing of your stop upon reaching the target depth. Most dive computers feature a stopwatch function that allows you to begin timing from the beginning of the ascent procedure until reaching the surface, ensuring accurate monitoring of elapsed time. After completing the stop, the lead should signal and commence the ascent to the next planned depth, which in our scenario is 3 meters for a duration of 1 minute. After confirming our next move and double-checking our current depth, the team proceeds with the ascent. Throughout the ascent, it is crucial to handle the spool with care and attention. While it may be tempting to hold onto the spool tightly, it's important never to insert fingers through the middle or attach it to your gear in any way. If the buoy were to get caught by a passing boat, it could lead to being dragged underwater, which poses significant risks. Always be prepared to release the spool if such a situation arises. In the event that the spool does sink to the bottom, the line remains accessible for retrieval upon surfacing. This ensures that the team can easily recover the line after completing the ascent, maintaining safety and preparedness throughout the dive. Another useful tip for utilizing your DSMB is to assess surface conditions, particularly the waves that await you upon surfacing. When you reach the next stop, secure the spool and release it in front of you. The fluctuations in depth indicated by the spool can provide insights into the surface wave conditions. Moreover, the time spent during stops can be enjoyable when practicing skills you are proficient in, provided they are planned in advance rather than randomly executed. Ensure that any actions taken during the ascent are either planned beforehand or promptly responded to. Upon completing the final stop, the team must ensure the surface is clear. Each member should check the area above other members. And before beginning the final ascent, everyone should confirm that it's safe to proceed. Aim to surface directly beneath the DSMB. Remember to make the last part of your ascent the slowest, as the pressure gradient is greatest at shallower depths, and a slower ascent reduces the risk of decompression issues. It's surprising how many divers still ascend in a vertical position, which is exactly what you shouldn't be doing. Being vertical prevents your tissues from off-gassing evenly, rendering your stops completely ineffective. Like every other aspect of diving, you should aim to maintain horizontal trim throughout the entire ascent and during stops. Another significant benefit of maintaining the correct position is that it gives you the best chance to respond to emergencies. Trying to move effectively from point A to point B on a horizontal plane while upright is practically impossible. So, forget about the vertical position and make it a habit to stay in trim for a safer, more efficient ascent. To correctly manage the DSMB line while ascending, pay attention to these details. Ensure the gate of the double-ender bolt snap faces you and open it with your thumb. After hooking the bolt snap onto the line, wind up the spool as you ascend, as demonstrated here. Avoid letting the line slack, as this will cause the buoy to drift away from above you. To lock it easily, hook the bolt snap through one of the holes on the spool. We've heard countless arguments for ascending in a horizontal position, one of which is that divers can't look up to clear the surface. The proper way to handle this is demonstrated in the ascent video previously shown. However, if that doesn't seem sufficient, you can simply turn upside down for a full view of the surface. And before you think, yeah, well, that's easy in side mount, here is one for you, demonstrated wearing a heavy steel twin set. Thanks for watching and hope you learned something. Consider subscribing to Flow State Divers to become part of the community of conscious divers and to get notified on our upcoming content.